We want every side to come together to attempt to take down the 100 side.
Man, they gotta
We want
understand,
all the
right?
smoke.
We go off the content.
Three, two, one. Hey there, welcome back to the channel where we keep it real. No capping. I'm your host, bringing you nothing but straight fire and authenticity. Today, we're diving into 12 rooms that I got to promote. The 100 ENT showroom, hosted by Big Wack100. The Beehive room. Love and R&B room, hosted by the queen of the 100 side, R&B. No room for the weak. No mercy room. Spin the block room. 100 ENT Jailbreak Squad room. 100 ENT South room. Petty Betty and Toxic Tanya room. Dangerous Minds room, hosted by Beast. Good Burger, hosted by Pitbull. Sleepless in LA, and many more. If you want to get closer or you want to be a part of the show, go to Clubhouse, follow one of these rooms, or you look for a room titled with Wack100. These particular videos all made possible by the one and only Wack100. Get ready to vibe with me as we explore the hardest topics that need some real recognition in the streets. Let's jump right into it and show some love to this channel by hitting the like and or subscribe button. So, without further ado, hold it down. One mic on Wack.
She got upset or bitter about it.
Yeah, pushing her career.
Yep.
I'm not saying him whooping her ass or whatever is cool. I'm just saying that I think all that led up to you ultimately the trainer behind his back and you moving on. I just think it didn't work out for you. So here it go. But I wouldn't give a what they say. The sex work, the females pissed on her face. She opened her mouth up. I guarantee you it happened more than 10, 15, 20 times. I guarantee you that was part of their thing. This was doing everything under the sun, it looked like. Now is he held me captive. When he held her captive, he held her down. Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you know,
She not
I mean,
innocent.
I hear you, but it's like you ain't around that nigga 15 years participating.
And you just innocent of it all. You ain't
And
do
then
shit.
all of a sudden, you know, it's a problem. When I hear that, and just let me know they was into some kinky shit. I don't hear nothing forced because it's like, was you in agreement? Was you cool? You know what I'm saying?
Because you went that long with it, like, how is it a problem all of a sudden?
Yeah, that's my thing. So, you know, you could take anything and say, okay, this is not going to sound right to a normal person. So now I can say it, cry behind it. You can say I felt like I had to do it.
And I wouldn't
There
be
you go.
surprised if they was both beating each other ass. You got
No,
drugs,
I think
alcohol, all different types of influences around. Get hot-headed, short-tempered, all different types of shit. I wouldn't be surprised if Cassie was beating his.
I think. Listen, they had sexual experiences. Do I think Diddy introduced her to it? Definitely. Do I think she embraced it? Definitely. What they call it? I think Diddy unlocked her. Unlocked her and exposed her to some other shit. And like dude said, it was at a point where she would be setting things up and having us come by and telling us what it's gonna be. So at that point, what is it?
I was listening to the transcript, like this dude, he was reading the transcript since it's not an open courtroom thing. So the male stripper, it was funny when y'all was saying that, I was thinking about the male stripper's testimony. He said that basically he was a former stripper, and that this is his testimony, parts of his testimony. He was a former stripper, and that he was called by one of his people to go meet up with a couple. And so he arrives to the house, and this lady comes to the door with red lingerie, Cassie, red wig, and I think like maybe some eyewear or something like that. She had something like that, but she was just like sexy with a red wig on. Anyways, he says she escorted him to the back, to a room. He said that he didn't notice at first, but then he saw a guy sitting in a seat with a mask on. That's where probably the mask came from. The mask with a mask on, and then she was like, do you mind coming in and using some baby oil on me and perform, giving me a massage? My husband's not gay or anything like that. He just wanted to treat me to a nice massage. So he says while he's performing the massage, that the man who he couldn't recognize, but he knew he could recognize him, but he recognized him by his voice, was masturbating in the corner of the room while she was getting her massage. He said after a while, like he said, he started meeting up with them a couple more times, and he said it got
Stop right there. Stop right there.
okay.
So when he came, he just anticipated coming to give her a massage. That's it.
That's what he said that he
A
was hired
bachelorette
to do.
party.
Okay, he was hired to come give her a massage. Okay, cool. So got a traveling masseuse coming to massage. So the minute, I mean, when I take on B to spas, a
Hmm.
lot of times we're in the same room together, right?
Hmm.
But the minute dude start masturbating while dude giving a massage is where he violated, right there.
Right.
Right.
Right. So then the
Okay.
guy looks whack. Then the guy continues, and this is pretty much the end of it. Because again, I was just getting like kind of like the rundown via transcript, the way the guy was reading it and shit. But he says that he was called out to meet up with this particular couple a couple more times. He said sometimes he was paid anywhere from 700 to 5K to meet up with them. And he said at sometimes I didn't get paid. And then his response after that was, because the reason why, I guess they had asked them like, why weren't you compensated, or why weren't you getting money or whatever. He said at this point I was in a circle of people that I never thought I would be around. He said so I didn't even care anymore about getting paid. I just wanted being there. I wanted to be with the, basically having access to these folks, being in their inner circle. And I thought that was interesting because I'm like, okay, that's probably how a lot of people get down in that circle. And that's not no defense for Cassie, but yeah, like once you exposed to some shit, you might hang around for a little while, hang around for 11 to 15
Well,
years.
I will tell you this:
Mm-hmm.
uh, if dude did that and he came back again and again and again, at
Mm-hmm.
that point, I'm gonna feel like y'all gotta understand it. The first time it was a violation, but it seemed to me like he didn't react and go report nothing.
Yeah.
So maybe he was into that. Maybe he got into that. Whatever the case may be, it went from it turned into some. It looked like it was an agreement. It was cool.
It was cool for him. He was cool with it. That's what he was pretty much saying in so many
Yeah.
words. Like he was good with it. Like getting paid or not. At first, getting paid was great, and he would like to be paid every time he comes. But he found himself around, people that he never thought he would be around. Access to shit he never have access to. So he just started becoming a part of their little whatever, like freely doing it, like just doing whatever he was asked to come to the house to do. He
So,
was down
so he
to do
was
it.
asked to do more than massages eventually over time.
That's what that's what it seemed like. But remember, this was just the guy reading through a transcript script trying to give us the main point.
And
So
why
I
why
didn't.
would why
Yeah.
would Diddy allow his children, them little girls, them daughters, to be in that courtroom, knowing he got some explicit sexual shit finna be talked about.
That's how everybody felt.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I wouldn't have did that one. That's crazy. Uh, what else we got on it?
In regards to the
I'm hearing
or
about
We
something
got
else.
there's some 8 minute tape with Cassie trying to extort the nigga. I don't know if they played it or not.
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
It's
I
8 minute
read that
tape.
yesterday. They had an 8 minute talk between her and her lawyer talking about extorting Diddy.
What?
Yeah.
Damn, how the fuck they get that tape?
Right, that's what I'm
Right.
saying.
I don't know.
It make
That's what
it
it
made me
allegedly been said around. So.
that made me think about what you said a long time ago, or not a long time ago. It's like a little recently, Wack, when you was like, people, it's gonna get weird. This AI stuff, like, not saying that the audio's weird. If it's
Oh
real,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
real.
yeah.
But yeah, that it shit can get real weird, and we're gonna have to come out with voice authenticators to make sure that's the real place.
Yeah, how do you get that between her and the attorney? Unless the attorney gave it up, or
Right.
shit, that's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe maybe they was in a certain room and had a video. I don't know. I don't know. That's tricky.
Which witness y'all want to go with first, the male escort or the LAPD officer?
Whatever's more entertaining.
The male escort. Both entertaining. Okay, so the male escort gets on the stand, right? Black male escort. Yes, he's a black man. He's like probably like 5'7", really stocky, like, you know, muscle. I could tell when he walked in, I'm like, oh, he must be like a dancer or something. Oh no, Charlemagne's body could never. Okay. He's like a dancer or something. So he gets on the stand.
Seen me with my shirt off, man.
Let her finish, please. Baby, listen, look at you sitting over. Sit up, looking all pudgy. So he's on the stand.
I know you ain't talking with that Vera Wayne fat suit though.
So he's on the stand and he's describing his relationship with Cassie and Diddy, and he's saying that, you know, up until a few years ago, in New York, whenever they would come here, they would call him because he would engage in different sexual acts with them, right? Allegedly. So he's like, every single time he got the phone call, it was from Cassie. The way that he met them was through his boss. So his boss came to him one day and said, look, I have this couple who wants to do something for the wife. It's a bachelorette party. They need a male stripper. They didn't have a male stripper, so he went. He shows up in the NYPD t-shirt and he says, Cassie opens the door. She's in red lingerie. She's in a wig, dark glasses, and pumps. And she's like, listen, your boss told me that I'm supposed to give you $200. And this is what he's alleging. And instead, she gives him $4,000. She's like, I want to explain to you what's about to happen. So this is not a bachelorette party. My husband likes to do special things for me. He wanted to do this for my birthday. He just wants us to like rub baby oil on each other and, you know, just kind of like get familiar with each other. And whatever happens from there, if you're comfortable, I'm open to it. Mm-hmm. So he's like, okay. So he goes in. He says when he walked in on site, like just
okay.
He said Cassie was one of the most beautiful women he ever seen in his life. He couldn't even believe that it was happening like this. So he walks in and he alleges that Puff was there sitting in the room, but you couldn't tell it was him because he had a bandana tied around his face and he had a hat on and he was sitting in the corner. Mm-hmm. He said that they got into it. He says that they were rubbing each other with the oils. There was other lubricant there as well, and that him and Cassie had sex on the couch in that hotel allegedly, and that the whole time Puff sat in the corner and masturbated.
Executive producer. That's what he calls it.
And he did say he did say that, you know, he never Puff never got involved, but he was telling them what to do at different times.
That's how we know he don't make beats.
And he also made it clear too that when on the first time that they linked up, Cassie told him like, you have nothing to worry about. My husband is not gay. He's not going to touch you. He's not going to whatever. He just, you know, he might tell us what to do or whatever, but he's not going to be. It's just going to be us doing the physical things. He said that they linked up a lot more times after that, but he did say that there was two things he said. He said one time he couldn't get hard anymore because he went to Cassie's house. They got comfortable with him. He came to Cassie's house. When he was there, Cassie and Diddy was in the room. He was outside in the living room. Diddy comes out and goes off on Cassie, like allegedly beats her up bad because she took a long time to come back in the room to him. And he said after he saw that was his first time seeing her get physically like touched. He couldn't even engage in sexual activity with the two of them. And they haven't gotten to cross-examine him yet. Like Diddy's team started and then they had to stop.
What about the urination?
The urination thing. So he randomly was just like recounting their experiences, and he just came out and said, yeah, like, because they were asking him, what are some of the things you would have to do? He said, well, one time Cassie asked me to, you know, urinate
on her.
On her. And now we all gasping like, oh, wait, because the prosecutors.
Oh, so Cassie asked him, not Diddy.
Exactly, because the prosecutors opened up that literally probably like 15 minutes before that. The prosecutors were like, Cassie is going to tell you that Diddy allegedly made this escort urinate on her. That there's an escort sitting in front of us, sworn in on the stand, saying No, Cassie told me to do that.
And this is what I was talking about yesterday when I said they're about to put Cassie through it, and I hope her husband isn't hearing anything he didn't already know.
Yeah,
right.
You know, because if not, that gonna make for some very awkward moments at home. Yeah. And if you didn't know that your wife got urinated on and then found this out in court,
it's a lot.
Could you handle that?
But let me tell you, not only because he had left, he was in the back of the court, and then he went. I think they took up to like a back room. But the you know, all the Diddy kids are there, right? So his daughters are there. I was sitting behind them. It was awkward for me to watch them have to listen to all of this. After he started, the male escort started getting into a lot of the masturbation and stuff. They got up and left.
Who told him to leave? Did Diddy say leave or?
No, Diddy didn't tell them to leave. I don't know if there was a conversation or not. I looked up from writing and I saw them get up, so I don't know. But I know that they were like checking on each other throughout. I saw them ask like Christian at one point, like, "You okay?" Because they brought Kim into this as well, like having conversations about the jealousy that was between Puff and Cassie, because you know the defense is just trying to paint this as like this was just a jealous, toxic relationship, and it started with Diddy not being able to leave Kim alone up until the time of her passing. But there's more. I got to bring this back at the top of next hour.
I got more questions when we come back, because I want to know what Diddy was doing during all of this.
Okay.
What was his body language like?
Got you. And then the kids were giving off some of the languages as well too, because when that male escort said that part about Cassie, Christian and Justin, like the way that they looked at each other, like finally somebody saying
they feel like telling the truth.
That's what it felt like. That's not what they said, but that's what it felt like. So we'll come back on the top of the next hour, because there's a whole nother witness, and they broke this witness down on the stand.
All right.
Which witness y'all want to go with first? The male escort?
$200 to $4K is crazy. But he,
Wow.
Yeah, love, this shit finna go crazy. This shit finna go crazy.